Students, and welcome to Module 4 for Principles of Marketing. The agenda for this module is to go over consumer behavior, Google Ad Planner and keyword volume, content creation strategies, step 1 of your marketing plan, which is a situation analysis, and check-ins, discussions, and assignments. So consumer behavior. What is consumer behavior? It is the study of the processes involved when individuals or groups select, purchase, use, or dispose of products, services, ideas, or experiences to satisfy needs and desires. The study of how people spend their money is really a summary of it. Purchase attributes are a characteristic or feature that a product has which can be thought of as appealing to customers. So this can include properties like size, color, features, functionality, components that affect the product's acceptance in the market. So here's kind of a YouTube video that explains a little bit more of the consumer decision making process, and here's a visual for you. So we have complex decision making and we have simple decision making. So I'll start with 1, need recognition, information searching and processing, identification and evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. So needs of recognition for the consumer, whether we act to resolve a particular problem depends upon 2 factors. 1, the magnitude of the difference between what we have and what we need, and 2, the importance of the problem. A marketer role is to know what problems consumers are facing so the marketing mix fits. Activate problem recognition to trigger the purchasing process and to shape how consumers define the need or the problem. So the consumer also seeks information, may come from past experience, word of mouth, or research. The marketer's role, promotions should give consumers the info they seek in the places they look for it. So this could be with anything. Think you want a good pair of running shorts. You want to seek information, you're going to do research. What professional athletes are wearing running shorts, what people in your run club are wearing running shorts, what are other people wearing. This may come from your past experience. What running shorts brands have you worn in the past, whether it's Under Armour, Nike, Rabbit, Brooks. Maybe you ask your friends or do a little Google research on Facebook. And then the marketing role is to promote running shorts that give consumers information like, oh, this pair of running shorts has wick material. This pair of running shorts has a pocket big enough to hold your keys. This pair comes in 3 different lengths, 2-inch, 4-inch, 6 inches. So that's just kind of an example of the consumer and the marketer role. Evaluation of alternatives. So the consumer will develop a criteria to make a choice and evaluate options based on that criteria. A marketer role will understand your target consumer's evaluation criteria is critical. Your product needs to demonstrate these qualities in order to be shortlisted in the selection set. Purchase decision. The consumer decides and buys. The marketer role tries to simplify the purchase decision. Be aware of point of sale factors. So making sure it's easy to buy. So say you go with the pair of Nike shorts that are 4 inches black and they have 3 pockets. That's what you decide to buy. The marketer role is to simplify that purchase decision and be aware of the point of sale factors. So is it easy to purchase online? Do you have to go through a bunch of windows? Is it easy to purchase on Amazon or maybe through a Dick's Sporting Goods? Post-purchase behavior. The consumer, they may experience post-purchase anxiety due to inconsistent thoughts or attitudes. The marketer role, new customer communications that confirm the quality and popularity of the product. Providing personal reinforcement has proven effective with big ticket items such as automobiles and major appliances. So here's another little visual here, the factors that influence consumer decisions. So think about these when you make a purchase. Your situational factors, buying tasks, market offerings. Your personal factors, demographics, life stage, lifestyle, personality. I know when purchasing a car, my personal factors were a lot different when I was 18 years old versus when I was 35 years old. Your psychological factors, motivation, learning, attitude, and beliefs. Your social factors, cultures, subcultures, social caste, family, reference groups. Again, a 16-year-old teenager might think differently purchasing a car compared to a 30-year-old mom of 3 children married that needs a bigger vehicle that's maybe more economical. And then we go through the consumers, so the need for recognition again, the information, searching, and processing here, identification and evaluation of alternatives, the purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. So that's kind of a visual of the process there for those that are the more visual learners. Drive theory versus expectancy theory. Make sure you know this slide. Drive theory is internal and expectance theory is external. So drive theory, if behavior reduces drive or tension, we will repeat it. Drive theory studies the desire to reduce this tension. An extreme example would be addiction. Are we addicted to our phones? I will admit, yes, I am. Expectancy theory is external, expecting a desirable outcome from the behaviors. Needs versus wants, the strength of the motivation to satisfy a drive. I'm hungry. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that'll be on the next slide. Wants, the direction of the motivation, the particular way the consumer reduces the drive tension or brand specific. I want a double-double from In-N-Out. Wants, therefore, are learned needs. Manifestation of a need is shaped by personal, cultural factors. So I may not need a new pair of running shoes, but shoot, Topo just came out with a new purple, and purple is my favorite color, so now I want a new pair of running shoes. Maslow's hierarchy needs, visual here. So Maslow developed a model that lays out 5 different levels of human needs. These needs relate to one another in a need hierarchy. So we have physiological needs, safety and security, love and belonging, self-esteem, self-actualization. So that's kind of a short little micro module here on lecture here on consumer behavior. Now we're going to kind of go into Google Ad Planner. This can get a little bit of confusing. Don't spend too much time on this. If you have issues understanding this, feel free to email me or come to my office hours. But really the Google Ad Planner is kind of to know your keywords. This is just kind of basic overview here. There's a lot to know about it. I do have some videos that you can watch if you want to learn more. So your keywords, keyword research determines potential market viability for your idea. Look for an underserved market with an unmet need and money to spend. Smaller niche markets cost more to reach and you run out of customers faster. Markets with a lot of competitors results in higher ad costs, which we call a bid process. Think purchase attributes and relevance when thinking keywords. The bid process, this can be a little confusing as well. In online advertising, you are competing against other advertisers going after the same target. Ideal target is high keyword volume with few competitors. Lots of customers looking for the product and not many sellers. Keyword nuances are important to your ad pricing. Keyword strategy impacts how you position your product. So here are 4 great videos here. Google Ads, they want you to spend money on ads, so they're going to have a lot of tutorials and videos for you to watch so that you will do Google Ads. There are Google Ads specialists out there. I'm not a specialist in Google Ads. I don't do them for my clients. It's just not a service I provide, but I do try to educate myself so I know the basics of everything. So here, what are Google Ads? Tips on Google Ads. So here's 4 great videos here. And once you get into this YouTube channel, there's a ton of videos on Google Ads if you really want to dive deep into this. And you might be super into this, and then heck, you might end up being a Google Ad specialist. There is a great need for that out there. So drivers of Google Ad Rank. So factors that determine where your company product ranks on a Google Ad Rank, search, paid search, and what you pay bid to run your ads. Google wants users to receive ads that are relevant to them and not bombard them with ads for products they don't want. Drivers of Google Ad Rank. So these are click-through rates. Are customers clicking on your ad? A low click-through rate. Bounce rate. Are customers leaving, bouncing your landing page, website when they click on your ad? This indicates your landing page website is not engaging customers. Ad relevance. Is your ad relevant to the target audience that received your ad? If you if your click rate is low, it's a signal that they don't like your ad. Ad format quality, certain ad designers garner higher click-through rates. So again, if this is kind of confusing for you, when it comes to the marketing plan, you are allowed to use AI to help you with this. Just make sure that you have your sources in there. But here are this channel has so many great videos and resources, so I highly recommend you check these out. All right, so moving on to content creation. Now, this is a service I provide for all of my clients, and there's all different types of content creation. I'm going to give you examples here of email content creation. So what is a content strategy? The management of any tangible media that you create and own. So this is written, visual, downloadable. It demonstrates who you are and the expertise you bring to your industry. Here is a great resource, HubSpot Content Strategy free course. You could take this free course. You could just do bits and pieces of it, but it's a great way to learn about content strategy and whether that's something you want to pursue in the future. And then at the end of the free course, you can get a certificate. I highly recommend you doing that. That's just another free certificate that you can add to your LinkedIn and to your resume. So content creating strategy. So items to consider when building a content strategy. And again, content strategy could be for email, it could be for social media, it could be for blog post, print, direct mail, all of the above. So who are you creating your content for? What problem is going to solve for the audience? What makes you unique? So remember your differentiators. Which content formats will you focus on? Infographics, videos, photos, etc. Which channels will the content be published on? And how will you manage creation and publication? So why do you need a content marketing strategy? So it's just like any other marketing campaign, you need a strategy to go with it. It helps businesses prepare and plan for cost-effective sources of website traffic and new leads, one blog post that gets a steady amount of organic traffic, an embedded link to an ebook or free tool with continued generating leads for you as time goes on, gain flexibility to experiment with other marketing tactics to generate revenue, sponsored content, social media advertising, and distributed content, helps educate your target prospects and generate awareness for your brand. So again, I kind of use HubSpot as an example here. They're just an amazing resource. The free version is incredible. I highly recommend you guys all get an account with them, free account, and then if you choose to, get a paid account. So how to create a content marketing strategy, define your goal, conduct persona research. Remember, we learned about personas, run a content audit, choose a content management system, brainstorm content ideas, determine which types of content you want to create, and publish and manage your content. So what are some different types of content marketing? There's so many different types now. It's super exciting. I love creating content for my clients. Blog posts. I'm a big writer. I've written lots of blogs for my clients. Ebooks, case studies, templates, press releases, infographics, videos, podcasts, social media, and newsletters. So step one, what are your goals? How do these goals fit into your content strategy? Is your newsletter supposed to help you generate leads, get more email contacts, send traffic to your website, or is it internal for employees? Think SMART goals. Your goals should be measurable. This includes click-through rate, conversion rate, list growth, sharing, or forwarding rate. Step 2, gather your content. Depending on your send due date for your newsletter, I'm using a newsletter as an example here. How often you want to send one, you could be actively or passively trying to find content. So you want to be active. You're searching for content that will solve a specific goal, and you want to be passive. You randomly stumble on it when browsing for other content, but realize it could fit in nicely with your brand and your goals. If you know a newsletter needs to be sent monthly, start bookmarking links throughout the month to save time later. Places to find content could be your company's blog, social media, training documents, networking with other employees or team members who are out in the field. So I used to do this with one company I worked with. I was in charge of their internal monthly newsletter, which went to all the staff so that they would know what's going on with the company. So every month I would have to be actively searching for content from department heads, department leaders, the company's blogs, social media, training documents, and employees would always be sending me new content to post. So here's kind of an example of a monthly newsletter. This is from a company that makes ingredients that they sell to breweries, distilleries, and wineries. So think when you have that hard seltzer beer, where did that ingredient come from? Who did they purchase their passion fruit, their raspberries from? Who does Belching Beaver purchase their raspberries from to make their hard seltzer? So yeah, this company sells all these ingredients to different breweries. And so we would send out monthly news, but this is an old client of mine. We would send out monthly newsletters to our database and let them know what's the latest on ingredients. They can click on these to purchase. I would highlight a local brewery that was a client of ours and maybe something new that they were creating, and any other pertinent information that was good to send out to people. So step 3, design your template. Sketch out the layout of how your newsletter will look before you start writing copy. This will give you an idea of space for each section. You don't have to be flashy. Simple text, color, and high quality images look good and professional. The design needs to be easy for recipients to scan and click on links. Must be mobile friendly, which pretty much every template out there for software is. Pre-made templates in software such as MailChimp or Constant Contact are a great start. I personally love MailChimp. They're my favorite. I think they're super easy to work with. They can get expensive if you have a huge database with, like, I don't know, 10,000, 100,000. Most small businesses don't have a database that big, but they have amazing templates here that are super clean and easy to use. Here are just some examples here. Step 4 is to add your body content. So input copy and images into your template. Keep the copy short and sweet. Add a proper footer with contact information and social media handles. Include a call to action button. Send a test to yourself and other teammates to confirm punctuation, typos, working links, and resolution. Always make sure your links are working. It's okay to use ChatGPT or other AI when creating newsletters, but just make sure that you are editing it so that it still fits your brand's voice. You don't have all these M dashes and emojis, and it still looks like it's coming from you and it makes sense to your audience. So here's a client destination trail. I would send out 1 to 2 newsletters a month to a huge database, and I would use the same template type of feel. So always have the logo here, the main headline, only 5 days left to register for the Bigfoot 200. I would use professional photographs and make sure I tagged, gave photo credit to the photographers. The end of each email was usually thanking volunteers. Volunteers are a huge part of this organization, and I would have a little story about those volunteers. I always had a footer. There was information down here, but it got cut off here. But always linking to their social media. And here's kind of the formatting was always kind of the same. So trying to get people to sign up, enter the lottery, more information, payment plans, email, links. So lots of links, and I would send this to 3 people each time, and just to make sure we didn't have any typos. Try not to use that many M dashes as possible, and to make sure all the links worked. So email newsletter, step 5, choose your subject line and sender name. Experts say it's best to have the email come from a sender name or a real person, but it's always best to do A/B tests this theory. Make sure your customer is clear as to who the sender is. Do some research on keywords for subject lines that make the email click-worthy. Think value proposition. If you're the receiver, why would you open this email? So software like this type of software here that we were using, MailChimp, for this particular customer, they actually have built-in features now to search that does the research on the keywords for subject lines to help you out. You can also use AI for that as well now. So here's kind of an example of some different headlines, different headers here. These are 2 emails that I always receive. This was an email I would send out all the time. Step 6 is sending out your email. Make sure your list is clean and all your email recipients have subscribed to receive this email. Again, all the latest software kind of takes care of that for you. That's why you're paying them. Confirm your email has all the branding and legal compliance. Choose the day of the week and time of day to send the email and hit send. Step 7 is to analyze and iterate. So check data later that day, in 3 days, in 1 week. Did the email perform on the goals you set for it? Which links got more clicks? Did anyone unsubscribe? Once you have data, you have a direction to go for your next email newsletter. I use this information a lot, mostly on the day and time that the newsletter goes out. Whether your next day, send it day, week, month, quarter, you'll have insights to make the next one even better. So here's kind of a screenshot of what MailChimp looks like. These are old, but I can't show you any new information because that's private information from my clients. I can't share client information. So this was a newsletter I used to send out with my business years ago. I don't do it anymore. But just to give you an idea, reach, impressions, engagement, opens, clicks, you can view reports, and then you can make changes for the future. All right, so that's kind of the lecture for this module. Now I'm going to kind of go into an overview of marketing plan step 1. This is a situation analysis. Again, all this information is in detail with examples in Canvas. And note that the examples are just examples. So make sure you're still following all the information that is needed for this assignment. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Each student needs to write their own marketing plan. So your product description, describe your product or your service. What is the unmet need that your product service will serve? How will your product service meet a need that is not currently being served by competitors? Your size of market, what is the estimated size, number of customers of the market for this product or service? You can use Google Keyword Planner to obtain estimated market size. In this 2 cases here, if you're having difficulty figuring out what product or service you want, or you're having difficulty figuring out the size of the market, it's okay to use ChatGPT or other AI tools that have the research version, such as GTP 4.5, but you must cite all your sources. So you cannot have AI write the whole situation analysis for you. It needs to be written in your own words. But if you need help with the research part, like, oh gosh, I just can't think of a product. I'm really into surfing. I'm really into clothing. What kind of product should I come out with? What's the name of my product? You can use ChatGPT for that type of stuff. If you have a question on what you can and can't use ChatGPT for, please email me or come to my office hours. I'd be glad to help you with all of that. So continuing with step 1 here, do some research to determine what the average keyword volume is for your product. You'll need to do some research on how prospects are searching for this product. What phrases, keywords are they using to search for this product? Do some research to determine what the average cost per click is for the different keyword categories. You can find keyword volume and average CPC on Google AdWords, so there's a link here. Instructions to access Google AdWords. In case you have issues with these instructions, you can always Google how to figure this out. Let me know if you have any issues with that, but hopefully all these steps here can get you through that. Refer to the marketing plan resource page on Canvas for information on how to write your situation analysis section of your marketing plan. Again, if you need help writing your paper here, please reach out to the Writing Center. It is a free resource that MiraCosta has for students. You can either go in person, you can talk to them over the phone, you can email them, do a Zoom call. They are happy to help. I highly recommend it for everyone, especially if you're looking to get full points on this paper. Okay, so Module 4 assignments are Discussion 2, Consumer Behavior, and Assignment 4, Canva Project. I hope everyone has fun with this Canva project. If you won't be writing papers, you'll be a little creative on this one, and it'll help you with how to create content and your content strategies.